Knitting or crochet? What do you think? How is this pattern made? Or maybe it's a mix of both. You know, sometimes people write to me saying, your cables look like they're knitted, but you're just joining them with a hook. Well, take a look. This is the cable I'm proposing we make in this video. This cable has two right sides. This is one side, and this is the second side, and it's also a right side. And this cable is 100% crocheted. In this video, I'll share all the life hacks and details on how it's worked.
You see, one cable here leans left and the other leans right. I'll show you how to make these mirrored cables.
It's very simple. There's no complex math here, despite what some people tell me. Everything is incredibly straightforward. You just need to understand the logic behind these patterns once,
and you'll see they are 100% made with a crocheted hook.
Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's start crocheting. For the pattern, I'm casting on a multiple of 8. I'll make a slip knot and then chain 32. The chains are ready, and I'm moving on to the setup row. If you look at this sample, you'll notice the first row consists of double crochets. This first row of double crochets will be our foundation row. It is not part of the actual cable repeat. At the beginning of this double crochet row, I'm making a magic starting stitch instead of turning chains. I pull up the working loop to the height of a double crochet. I wrap the yarn around the hook and hold this structure with my right index finger. Then I insert the hook into the next chain from the hook through the back loop. Catch the yarn and pull up a loop. I yarn over and pull through the loop and the wrap. Then I yarn over and pull through again. This creates the first Magic Starting Double Crochet. If you prefer making 3 turning chains when starting a double crochet row, go ahead and do that. I personally don't like how it looks, so I use this magic pillar. Next, I crochet 1 double crochet into every chain of the row. Don't start in the very first spot, and if the starting stitch is already there, I insert the hook into the next point. And I'll continue making 1 double crochet into every length of the foundation chain. There should be exactly 32 double crochets, including that first starting stitch. Not 33, keep that in mind. The number of stitches must exactly match the number of chains. Continue like this until the end of the row. The setup row is ready, and I'm moving on to the cable itself. The cable consists of only 2 rows. One row is worked from right to left and consists of many short row segments. The second row is worked from left to right as one continuous piece. Let me show you. This is the row of shortened segments, and this is the row that is worked all at once. So, row 1 of the cable. Chain 1, turn. Since I'm making the cable reversible, all stitches in this cable will be yarn over slip stitches. Yarn over. Since I'm working into the setup row of double crochets, I insert the hook under both loops of the stitch. I catch the yarn and pull through everything on the hook to make a yarn over slip stitch. That's 1. Next point, 2. Next, 3. Next, 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. The first segment of the first row is 8 yarn over slip stitches. Chain 1, turn. Working back, I'll do 8 yarn over slip stitches again. But here, I work into the back loop only, and insert the hook into the second chain from the hook. 1, 2. I insert the hook, pull out the yarn, and complete the yarn over slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chain 1, turn. The next segment is 6 yarn over slip stitches. Again, when working into a row of yarn over slip stitches, I use the back loops. When working into the setup row, I use both loops. So, 6 yarn over slip stitches. Starting in the second chain from the hook, I work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And the first section of the cable is done. Now we start the repeat, the rapport. The repeat is the part that stays the same throughout the pattern.
Here's how to work the repeat for this cable. Chain 1, turn. First segment of the repeat, 4 yarn over slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 1, turn. Next segment, 14 yarn over slip stitches. Look, there will be stitch here, and we will transition back to working on the setup row. How do we work this segment? Yarn over, insert into the second chain from the hook in the back loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've reached the first step. Since all stitches are made with a yarn over, I'll do the join with a yarn over as well. I insert the hook into 2 threads, the bridge from the turn and the loop coming out of it. I yarn over and position it between the working loop and the threads I just picked up. Then I insert the hook into the back loop of the row below. That's 5. Then 6. Another step, I do the exact same thing. Insert into the 2 threads, the turning bridge, and the thread coming from it. I yarn over, now I go down into the foundation row, but since this is the setup row, I insert under both loops. I complete the join. This is stitch 7. Then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 yarn over slip stitches in this segment. Next segment.
Chain 1, turn.
16 yarn over slip stitches. Here, I simply work into the back loops. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
I've reached the stop. I insert the hook into the 2 threads again. 1, 2, inserted, yarn over. I go into the lower row. 15 and 16. Chain 1, turn. Now for the final segment of the repeat.
It consists of 14 yarn over slip stitches.
Yarn over, insert into the second chain from the hook.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
And with that, the repeat is finished.
From here, you just repeat this sequence over and over. 4, 14, 16, 14. Make all the joins and insertions exactly as I explained in the first repeat. There are no differences. At the end of the row, we will finish the sequence. We'll meet there and I'll show you how to complete the row.
I finished the last repeat. Now I would normally start a new one, but a full repeat won't fit here. So I worked as follows. Chain 1, turn. First work 4 yarn over slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 1, turn. According to the repeat, this should be 14 stitches, but we only have room for 6, so I'll work 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make the join. 5, 6. Chain 1, turn.
In the repeat, this would be 16 stitches, which is 2 more than 14. Since I had 6, 2 more makes 8. That's what I'll do. 8 yarn over slip stitches.
1, 2, 3,
4,
5, 6.
Another join, inserting into the 2 threads, yarn over, then into the lower row.
7, 8.
And now the very last segment, chain 1, turn. This final segment is just 8 yarn over slip stitches.
Yarn over, insert into the second loop from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7,
8.
Chain 1 for an easy transition to the next row.
And look, I have completely finished the first row of the cable. It went from the right edge to the left. Now my hook and working loop are on the left side. Next, I need to go from the left edge back to the right to create this pack or connecting rail.
I've already made my chain 1, so I turn.
Here I work into the back loops only, starting in the second chain from the hook. I work yarn over slip stitches. There will be 32 of them, the exact same number I cast on at the start.
My rule here is, when I see a step, I bridge the step.
I don't really count the stitches between the steps, though I will double check the total at the end. When I reach a step, I handle it exactly like we did before.
Continue this way until the very end of the row.
So I finished the second row of the cable, this element here. One cable is done.
Now if we look at the sample, there is another divider row of double crochets.
You can see it clearly, right? And after that, there's a second table. But it's mirrored. It's not an exact copy. How do you make a mirrored cable? That divider row is exactly what we need to set it up. The second cable is worked exactly like the first, 1 to 1. I've calculated everything perfectly so it all lines up symmetrically. And the only difference is that it starts from the opposite edge, but all the numerical sequences remain the same. Since this is a reversible sample, the cables are mirrored and symmetrical on both sides. To get from the right edge to the left edge to start the next part, I need to work one row. I'll work that divider row now. For the divider row, I don't do a turning chain. I make a magic pillar. I pull the loop up to the height of the stitch. I yarn over and insert the hook into the current stitch through the back loop. I catch the yarn, pull it through, then yarn over and pull through the loop and the wrap together. Then yarn over and pull through the loop and the wrap together. There's the first magic starting double crochet. In the next stitch, work into the back loop. A regular double crochet. Continue with double crochets in the back loops until the end of the row. There should be 32 stitches again, including the first one, not 33. I finished the divider row, and next would be the first row of the cable. I won't show it to you again, just rewind this video to the beginning of the first cable row, not the setup row, but the first row of the cable. All the numbers, all the stitches, everything will be identical to how we worked the first cable. After you finish the first row of the cable, you work the second row. Let me repeat. The mirroring is achieved simply by starting one cable from the right edge and the second cable from the left edge, while the stitch counts remain identical. If you need a chart for this cable, perhaps you already know these patterns by heart and my videos seem too long or tedious and you just need the diagram, then you are welcome to visit my Telegram channel. The chart will be there in JPG and PDF formats. You can print it out, draw on it, or cross off the rows and stitches as you go. If you're thinking, Nadia, this isn't a real chart, where have you seen knitting charts like this? Real charts have symbols, but yours are just lines with numbers. Well, you're absolutely right. My charts have lines with numbers. It's not a traditional stitch diagram, it's a numerical sequence map. Since you've already learned the stitches from the video, I find traditional symbols a bit redundant. However, if you don't know how to read maps like these, they are great for developing spatial thinking and helping you visualize how these patterns fit together. And if you're stuck, there's a link here to a video explaining how to work with these numerical charts, what the lines mean, what the numbers represent, and what to do with them. And right here in the info card, you'll find a video where I explain in detail how to read such charts and how to crochet using them. It covers what all these lines and numbers mean and what to do with them. I hope this video was useful and that you enjoyed this cable pattern. It can be used for anything from scarves, fingerless gloves, and socks to full-size garments and sweaters. I'm sure you'll find a great use for it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell icon. You know the drill.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.